Okay, so Stephen, we're back here in side control, and in my opinion, there's kind of two basic ways to mount. One was the hip switch or the leg swing, which we covered, and the next would be what I call the knee drive or the knee slide. Now, I want to make sure you understand this is different than doing what people call knee on stomach or knee mount. That's different, and this is more for when the guy stays really tight. He's not going to post his free leg. He's just going to be here, and he's going to hop his knee right there, and then just slide to the mount, just like that. Very common. If you're a fan of a lot of old school kind of jiu-jitsu versus karate and things like that, you would see this all the time. So what's going to happen is, just back up a little bit. I want to make sure, again, I'm in a good position. I want to keep my arms nice and tight. I don't want to stretch out at all. I want to be here. And then Stephen has a good grip on me. So that knee is going to pop up right there. So I like to start to turn to my side. Because my arm is on the inside, I'm not really giving my back up. If he was underneath, that's going to be a problem. But because I kind of have the inside control, it's not so much of a problem. I can actually stay in this position as long as I don't let him rearrange his hands. And a lot of times when I get here and I start causing him some problems, one thing that someone in Stefan's position might do is they let go and they want to start to bother my legs. Yeah, just like that. And so because I have more freedom of movement now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him back to the praying mantis here. I want to cup his knee, and I keep my elbow in real tight. I don't want to be out here. And now I'm just going to kind of invert and do what I call a Granby. So I'm going to tuck my head and roll over my shoulders. Stefan's going to ride me. He's going to want to try to keep me down, and he's going to want to, a lot of times, go for my back. But because his leg is across and it's bent, it's actually very difficult for him to get my back. So it looks like this. I'm coming here. I'm raising. His leg is kind of trapped there. And then I'm just going to roll all the way through. Now this is a motion that you're definitely inverting, but it's not like an inverted guard. And it's a position that you're going to use if you want to have any sort of realistic guard recovery. So it should be a position that if you're not familiar with, you need to be familiar with it, not just for this escape, but for a lot of different escapes and a lot of different guard recoveries.
Could you just show it without me, please?
Definitely. So in the context of this technique, I would be like this. One of the key problems that people do is they don't duck their head and roll over their shoulders. They keep their head up and they kind of roll over their face like this, which is definitely not what we're looking for. I want to be here. I want to tuck my chin. I would be cupping, and I'm going to raise up. And again, I want to duck my head so that shoulder 1 and shoulder 2 touch the mat, and then I'm just going to swing around into my guard. And it's very easy to practice. Let's say I was laying flat. I could just walk my legs this way, duck, 1 shoulder, 2 shoulder, come back. Now I want to go the other way, get to the position, head down, 1 shoulder, 2 shoulder. And that's the action that I'm using. So again, I'm here. He's got a good grip on me. He's squeezing me. I'm just kind of waiting for my opportunity. He pops that knee up. I want to always start turning. Look here, something I do. I was using my forearm against his arm so that I could pull this elbow in tight. This way. With the push combined with the power of the turn is going to make that effective. Now, the first thing I want to go for, yeah, he does that. A lot of people want to do this when they come across a little bit of resistance from their partner, from me. And so when that happens, I'm more free now. I want to control. I'm going to start to duck my head and raise my hip up. And again, he doesn't just let me go. He wants to follow me. He wants to try to ride me, possibly go for my back. So I'm coming up, turning. There I am.
You're completely lifting me off the ground, and I'm I'm 80, 90 pounds heavier than you are.
Much bigger than me. And that just goes to show the power of the hip. If you do jiu-jitsu for any amount of time, you've probably heard it an exhaustible amount of times, the same as I have. People are always saying the hips are the most powerful part of your body, and they keep saying it because it's true.